Okay, I'll go ahead and do a share screen so that y'all can kind of see our PowerPoint for this evening. And just forgive me for a second, as it's not often I navigate Zoom by myself and try to admit individuals and host the meeting all at once. All right, so here's our welcome screen. This is our agenda for this evening. We'll talk a little bit about our agency registration, which all of you have gone through the process of registering already. We'll do a little bit of discussion on arrival and check-in on the day of the fair. We'll also discuss where we can go ahead and start reviewing abstracts if you haven't had access to that information. We'll talk a little bit about the judging process with in mind that the judging process for your agency might be slightly different than what I described this evening. And that is the very awesome nature of being in a special awarding agency. I'll talk about the award ceremony and the date of the award ceremony. We'll go over some resources, and then hopefully we'll have some time for a Q&A this evening. It is anticipated that our meeting will not last more than 1 hour, and to include a Q&A. So let's go ahead and jump into it with a quick overview of our program. So this program is in its 64th year here in Houston. It did not always start here at the University of Houston, but was actually hosted by UH Downtown for many years before we took it over at the UH STEM Center. We've expanded our fair to include now over 23 counties. So our counties range from, I think, as far west as Brenham and far east as Beaumont. We go up north a little past Conroe, and then as far south as Galveston, Texas. Currently, we have over 150 schools registered in our system, and this includes students who compete as homeschools. We have over 700 projects this year, which is greatly larger than what we've had in years past, and over 900 students that are going to be at the fair. For those of you that are not sure about the hierarchy of science fairs that exist here, the Science and Engineering Fair of Houston is affiliated with the International Science and Engineering Fair, which also means that our school or our fair, our region fair, feeds into the Texas Science and Engineering Fair later on in March, the International Fair, and the new sponsor for the middle school, which is Thermo Fisher Scientific. Whenever our students compete at any of these larger fairs or higher fairs, those students are competing when you total up all the prize money for over $8 million in prizes, which isn't a small number. I mean, that's pretty great, right? And a majority of this comes from organizations such as yours, being a special awarding agency. Here on the right-hand side of my screen, you can see these are by the numbers, kind of the statistics of last year's fair. We had over 851 students from 6th to 12th grade. We had over 138 volunteers. This is the amount of schools, school districts, and what is the career interest of a lot of our students. And so our students do take a survey at the end of the program to kind of highlight what they think is their most interest in career interest. And so hopefully you'll see some of your organization that is a part of this, or the organization that you represent falls in one of these career interests. Now, mind you, a lot of our students are unaware of the career trajectories of being a part of some of our different careers out there. For example, medicine and health, you know, it's not just being a doctor or a nurse in medicine and health, but there are other dynamics that go into it. And so with all of you here, hopefully we can help those students also figure that out. But something I'd like to really point out is here in the gender area, you can see that we are making a trend towards having a lot more females in the fair. This is actually a little lower than what we've had in other years, but we've year after year have seen a lot of our representation come from young women who are interested in STEM. So that is a great, great, great item. Let's talk quickly about some highlights of our students. So all of our students in the middle school, again, go and compete here in the Junior Innovators Challenge. This is new. This is the new sponsor. It used to be called Broadcom Masters Top 300. Now it's called the Innovators Challenge. But these are our students that went ahead and competed at that level. The top 300 is not an easy list to make, right? From across the United States, over 3,000 students had started the application process to go into the Broadcom Masters. And of the top of those 3,000, we narrowed it down to the top 300. And here are our students that had made it to the top 300. In the top 300, this student here, Sanjang Singh Sarang, was able to make it to the top 30. And students that make it to the top 30 in the Broadcom Masters win a free trip, an all expense paid trip for the student plus a parent to Washington, D.C., where they have a week of STEM. And they do a bunch of different STEM challenges there. At the high school level, our high schoolers go again, compete at the International Science and Engineering Fair. This year, we took 12 projects, which amounted to about 18 students. And of those students, Sohi Patel, many of you have chosen her as a special awarding winner for your award, but she went ahead and won first place in her category at the International Fair with a prize of $5,000. Siddharth Pachipala was able to get second place in his category, which these are two very big feats that we're accomplishments that we are very proud of our participants. Some special award recipients are listed here. As you can see, Siddharth had won multiple awards. We have Madeline Puza and Shivani Mundra, who also won a award from the CIA, first award of $1,000. Sanuha Manaj won a $1,000 from Mu Alpha Theta. And then Anushka and Madison here were able to garner $500 from Sigma Xi, the Research Honor Society, who is also a special awarding agency at our fair. And so again, if you don't think that our students are performing great research, hopefully by just looking at the results of our students at the international realm, you can see that we have indeed great success. And none of this would be possible without all of your support, of course. So let's talk about then what we need to do as special awarding agencies. Hopefully you're in this meeting because you are already a registered organization or agency, and you are already a registered judge. This year, the registration process is slightly different for registering as a special awarding agency, where we don't just give you a registration for your judges. This, when an agency registers, at the end of the registration process, the lead judge or whoever is responsible for registering the organization is then emailed a judge registration link that is very specific to your organization. I'm not sure if you've noticed, but at the tag end of the registration link for judging, you see the tag of your organization that is associated with it. And that kind of helps us group you all in and keeps us understanding who is who and who is registering for what organization. And at any time, please do stop me if you have any questions, okay? I'll also try to monitor the chat simultaneously.
I do have a question.
Yes.
About the special award registration link.
Yes.
This is Varsha here. I represent HIPLA. So here, I wanted to know is, how would I know how many people? I have forwarded the link to the members of our organization, and I know for sure there is interest in registration. So how would is there a way for me to know how many have registered under HIPLA?
Great question. Unfortunately, our system that we're using this year doesn't allow you as the lead judge or the coordinator of your organization to find that registration link. And so what we're asking you all to do is go ahead and shoot us an email so that we can go ahead and give you that spreadsheet of information. I believe my colleague, Ms. Monica O'Neill, who is in charge of our special award agency organization, is also going to help with that responsibility. So feel free to either email us at info@sefhouston.org, or feel free to reach out to Miss O'Neill at mso'neill@sefhouston.org.
Thank you so much.
Yes, not a problem. And my colleague, Dr. Heather Domian, is also putting our email address in the chat for those of you that might not have caught it the first time. Okay. So abstract review, hopefully on Sunday, you got the link to our registrations, or excuse me, our abstract showcase booklet. It is very different than what you've had the last few years, in the sense that the abstract information that you can garner from it is not as much, but it is our hope that by providing this link, you can begin to review abstracts. You can also review abstracts using the showcase system. So let me exit out of that real quick and showcase, kind of share with what that looks like. So here, excuse me, here's the showcase. So on that PowerPoint, I will email out the PowerPoint to all of you that are in attendance. On that PowerPoint, you go ahead and you use that link, and then it's going to ask you for a code. The code is going to be capital S, capital E, capital F, capital H, 2023. And again, it's gonna, you just go ahead and you put in that link, okay? So I do see in the chat that Kenneth had mentioned that it asks you to link or to create an account. So there should be two options. One is to create an account on the left, and then one should be to enter the passcode on the right-hand side. So again, that code is going to be capital S, capital E, capital F, capital H, 2023. The beauty about this showcase here is it allows you to filter by category. So if you are only interested in a certain category, go ahead and use this filtering system here. The drawback to this system, however, is that in the search, it is only running a search against titles. It doesn't run a search against any other information, such as what is in the abstract, as our old system used to do. And so hopefully through the use of the booklet that was emailed out this Sunday, you can also use that to give you hotkeys to find out what kind of projects you want to further explore, okay? And so if you don't know what the abstract booklet looks like, this is what the abstract booklet looks like. Again, this is the link. The link will be available on the PowerPoint for all of you. And then it just kind of lists out on this, the project table ID, which is their project number. Here where you see team status, it might say true, it might seem false. Anytime you see the team status say false, that means that that project is not a team project. If you see a true, that means that project is a team project which has more than one or between 2 to 3 team members. The division, you'll see any project in the 1,000 range, right? Any project between 1,000, 1,000, and 2,000 is going to be a junior project, which means it is a middle school project that is competing at grade 6 through 8. Any project that is in the senior division is a project that's going to be 3,000 and up, as you can see in the table ID. And that is a senior projects, that is grades 9 through 12, okay? So again, 2 areas where you can begin your abstract review, 1 being this abstract booklet, and 2 being this link here, or the showcase through ZFairs, okay? I'll go back to our PowerPoint, excuse me. All righty, hopefully you guys see my PowerPoint. The location of our fair this year, hopefully you're all aware, it's going to be at the George Brown Convention Center. It is in Hall A, all right? So that is a deviation from where we've been the last few years. We are in Hall A this year and not Hall E. Please take note of that. We are in Hall A, okay? And the date of our event, February 11, 2023. So then you might be asking, well, what about parking, sir? Well, unfortunately for parking, we couldn't secure any kind of better parking than what was available at the Toyota Convention Center. And so as long as you enter the Toyota the Toyota Tundra parking lot here on La Branch Street, it will be a $5 fee to park in their facilities, okay? Unfortunately, this year, we will not be reimbursing parking. Instead, we will be providing everyone with lunch. All right, so again, parking on the Toyota Tundra. The entrance to this parking lot is off of La Branch. Please, if you're going down Leland, you cannot go onto La Branch. La Branch is one way, okay? Just keep that in mind. La Branch is one way. Also note here in red, avoid the intersection of Dallas and La Branch Street. There will be a closure on this day as they do road construction. Okay. Any questions here on parking? Right. So then the route to take would be from once you park in this Toyota Center, go ahead, walk down Jackson Street or whatever street you're comfortable walking in downtown Houston into the George R. Brown. The convention center's doors to exhibit Hall E will be open. You can enter in through Hall E and then walk down to Hall A. So, or you can walk outside if you want to, but looking at the weather, you know, I think it had a small chance of rain, but it should be a nice, beautiful day otherwise. So that's kind of the area that we've designated for parking. Now you can also feel free to park in other resources, right? So if you rather choose to park in one of the Avenida parking garages, by all means, have at it. But for the price point, we were not able to negotiate anything better than what is offered here at the Toyota Tundra. Okay, so the check-in process. This year, we're going to try to streamline the check-in process. Instead of coming in and giving us your signature, we're going to ask that you come in. As you come in through the main entrance and then go to the registration table, we'll go ahead and check you in all electronically. I'll go ahead and stop my PowerPoint to just kind of show you all what that check-in system looks like on our ZFair platform. So when you go in and check in, you're going to go ahead, you're going to give us your name, and then we'll do a quick search. And then there's a button that lets us say either you're checked in or not. Okay. And so we're hoping that will help alleviate the long lines that we had last year and kind of get you situated for judging. So once you check in, you'll get your name badge or a name badge that says that you're a judge. And then we'll ask you to go from this area to this green colored area. This green colored area is where we'll have our tables that are set up for special awarding agencies. You'll see a small table tent. If you are the lead judge, you'll have a small table tent that will help guide you or that you can put out for advertising who that small section of the table is saved for. And then hopefully you can use that for the rest of your members. Okay. Do keep in mind, only the lead judge will get a lead judge folder. And in the lead judge folder, you'll have a winner certification report. The winner certification report needs to be returned to Miss Monica, who will be at the registration table. That winner's report is what we will use to help us with documenting who your winners are for each of your awards. You'll also get score sheets in the folder. Judging criteria. By no means do you have to use our judging criteria. You can use whatever judging criteria that you'd like to use. You'll have a judge manual again, the judge manual is online if you haven't already seen it. A script verification. The script verification is information that we will provide to you that you provided to us when you first registered, just so that you verify what we will read off at the awards ceremony. And then, of course, you'll get pens and pencils that will be contained in your judge folder. There are extra copies of any of these items that you see here available at the registration table. So for example, if we don't give you enough score sheets, feel free to visit us and we'll be more than happy to provide you any of the score sheets moving forward. Okay. Category maps. This is something new, category maps. So you might be interested in just a specific category and wondering, all right, where inside of the George R. Brown these projects are located. Go ahead and you click this category map. When you go ahead and click that map, you're going to get drawn to our website here where you can click the category that you're interested in, and it will highlight on the map where exactly those projects are and the project rank kind of situated here. All right. So again, this is for aerospace engineering. Here you'll see at the top, and then here you'll see where in the hall those projects will be located. And we should have all 18 available here. Okay. Any questions there on these floor maps?
Yeah, could you please give us the URL of that map access, please? You just referred to it, it's on the web. What is the URL?
Yes, absolutely. So once we're done with this meeting, again, you'll get the copy of this PowerPoint. That link is going to be hyperlinked there on the category maps. I can also, just give me a minute. Let me just go ahead and copy and paste this and shoot this into the chat if you don't mind.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes. So that you can access that at any time, okay? Okie dokie. All right, so then let's talk real quick about the judging process. Judge registration, you can start checking in at 11:30. From 11:30 to 1 o'clock, you can have that time with your team members to kind of situate yourself, organize yourself, discuss how you want to evaluate projects, maybe what projects you guys will begin to evaluate, and kind of just coordinate yourselves. And just, we ask that you ask your judges to please check in prior to the start of judging, right? As a special awarding agency, you have a very small window of time to evaluate projects. And based on the registration, many of you are interested in multiple categories. And so again, please give yourself enough time to evaluate as many projects as you can in that small window of time. So your judging process will start at 1:15 and will go to about 4:15. After 4:15, starting at 4:30 is the public day. So please start to wrap up your judging then. The lead judge will assign you projects that you will judge. Okay, so again, that lead judge is the person that registered your organization into our backend system as a special awarding agency, all right? As a special awarding agency, again, you do not need to follow any of the judging criteria that we put out. Our judging criteria is only put out to help you and assist you should you not have one available. We ask that you spend no more than 10 minutes interviewing any one project, right? At the same time that you are judging projects, we are also having our place award judges narrow down and come up with their own award recipients for our place award, which is what we use to send students to the ISEF and State Fair. This bullet here, no more than one judge at any one project at a time. I understand and I am aware that some organizations like to group judge. If you are one of those organizations that does group judging, please, by no means go with 5 individuals to judge a project, right? That the sense of having 5 adults speak to one student can be overwhelming. And so just keep that in mind as you judge projects, all right? And just keep that in mind when you're interacting with those students, right? Is that some of them, this is gonna be their very first time doing this. And so we want to try to make them as comfortable as possible. And we find that the 1-to-1 is a lot more comfortable than the 1-to-2, 1-to-4, or 1-to, sometimes I've seen organizations try to do 5, but that, again, that's just too many. I see a question in here that says, how many projects are we going to be assigned to judge that day? That's a great question, Hector. That is really up to your organization to decide, right? Again, as SCFH, we do not dictate kind of the criteria that special awardings will use to decide who they will, what projects they will go and visit. Okay. Organizations may choose to do any of the following. You may create and bring a score sheet of your choosing, right? Again, this is the score sheet. This image here is the score sheet that we provide you. There is no obligation for your organization to use it. We only provide it should you not have one already in place. You can go ahead and create and share judging criteria within your organization. Again, if your organization is saying, I am not using what you have provided because it doesn't fit our mission of our organization, no hard feelings. That is okay with us. And then we also encourage you to take some time to look at the science notebooks that students provide. Will all projects have it? No. However, we do encourage you, if you do see it, to entertain flipping through the notebooks, as some students do put in a lot of work into using a notebook. But at the same time, if you notice that the notebook might just be a replication of their project board, kindly just remind the students the importance of a notebook or a science notebook or a laboratory notebook versus just being a replica of what you see on the board, okay? Interviews. Remember, please remember, these are middle school and high school students. These are not PhD students. These are not master's level students, right? Some of these students will be very well informed. However, please, in your attempt to encourage them or attempt to evaluate them, please do keep that in mind. Encourage their research and interest in STEM. Again, for many of our participants, this may be the first time they're competing in a STEM event or a STEM competition. And so we want to continuously encourage them to continue their pursuit of STEM. I see here in the chat, are there participation awards, or is that to Mr. Rogers? That is a great question. That is up to the organization to decide what or how they want to award student participants, right? Again, awards follow a gamut of how they award, right? To call it Mr. Rogers, no, I don't think just giving a certificate is to Mr. Rogers. Again, the purpose of this competition is not only to reward students for their great research that they're doing, but we want to encourage these students to join us in that STEM pipeline, right? We don't want to discourage anyone from participating in STEM because of a negative reaction or negative interaction that they might have on this journey, right? Again, our students are ranging from 6th grade to 12th grade. We don't want to discourage or leave a bad taste in any of these students' mouth, moving forward. We want to encourage good, positive, constructive feedback, okay? Yes, there are going to be some projects that you see that you might question, wow, how did it make it to this level? Again, certain districts provide more resources to their students than others. So please do keep that in mind as you evaluate these projects also, okay? Not all districts are created equally, as we are all aware, all right? And so some districts have very strong STEM programs, and some are still building up their program. And finally, please, during your interview, be cautious about what you ask. Please do not ask for personal information or share your information with students. If you hit a project or you come across a project where you are interested in learning more, or even asking that student to join you at your place of business as an intern, feel free to reach out to our office and we will help link your or make that connection with that student, okay? So just be very cautious as to what sort of information you are sharing or you are asking of the students. Any questions here on the judging process moving forward? Great. Okay, this is kind of the last couple of slides then that we'll start wrapping it up. Everyone is encouraged to attend the award ceremony if you so choose. The award ceremony this year is going to be held on February 18th, 2023 at the University of Houston. We are again very excited to be back in person. And so we encourage any organization to come and present their project or present your award to the recipients after we've been on a virtual hiatus after a while. My organization. Yes. So once, okay, so I'm looking in the chat to Ms. Horner's comment. Absolutely. If you are giving your students or giving an awardee an award and you want to provide a scholarship, absolutely. Okay. So at the end of judging at SCFH, you're going to give us your winner's report. On that certification report, what we will then do in return is give you the contact information to the parents of those recipients that you had awarded. And you can then communicate with the parents that way. Unfortunately, we cannot give you the direct email address or contact information to the students, but we can help mediate that contact or that communication with the student by providing you their parent and teachers contact information. Again, the award ceremony is back in person. We'll be at the University of Houston. If you are not familiar with their campus, go ahead and look online where the student center is. We will be in the student center on the second floor in the Houston room.
I do have a question.
Yes.
For the awarding ceremony. So when I registered my organization as a special awards judge, I'm not sure if I clicked on to the, I'll be present in person or not. And now I think I have prior commitments, and how can.
I'm sorry, you got cut off at the end there, ma'am.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to know, how would I know if I was registered for in-person or delivery by check or something like that?
That's a great question. If you go ahead and email Monica or myself at the info account, or you go ahead and email Miss Monica, we can look it up as to what you put as your selection, and then we can let you know.
And can we change that now, or?
Yes, absolutely. If you're unable to attend, yes, absolutely.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, not a problem. Glenn, I see your question about submitting a script. So the script, you'll get to verify whatever you might have submitted on our registration system. You're going to verify that when you get your lead judge folder. If you plan on delivering the award in person, yeah, still same thing. What we will do is we'll have our reader read off what you put on your description that we read off. And then we invite you to the stage, where then we call in the students, where hopefully the students will then be in attendance and come to the stage and receive any kind of award that you might have. So here I see in the chat from Ms. Noor, replying, my organization's previous years, we would give them, yep, absolutely, that is okay too. You can give small flyers that we can also give them at the award ceremony, okay? There are no tickets for the award ceremony. This is open to the public. So it is a first come, first kind of sit opportunity there. Is the judging sheet available online? Yes. So on this resource page that you see here on my slide, all of these are hyperlinks, right? And you can see the SAA score sheet here. So when you go ahead, you click that hyperlink, it should hopefully take you to the score sheet. It is also available online under the special awarding folder under resources. All right, so SEFH 2023, special award resources. All of this is available here on the resource page, including the judge schedule, judge manual, official scoring sheet, agency checklist, and a sample spreadsheet that you can use for abstract review. So unfortunately, Glenn, no, we do not allow the presenters to speak at the award ceremony. All righty. Okay. The last thing I want to highlight here is the sample spreadsheet. This, again, as you and your organization are reviewing any of the abstracts, it is a daunting task, and it is quite large. And so this spreadsheet hopefully will help you. You can put the category that your project, the project division, junior or senior, project ID, anything that's, again, that you see fit, and then any notes that you might have. And this is kind of the pre-screening that you and your organization may choose to use. Again, any of these resources you may choose to use, or you can just say, you know what, we're going to do our own thing, which is perfectly fine. Anything that we provide to you is, again, just to help you along the process, but there is no obligation for you to use any of the resources that we provide. For example, I know with the Engineering Council of Houston, they pick students not based on the rubric that we provide, but on something that they find specific to their organization, which again is perfectly fine. We'll go back to the PowerPoint real quick. And then we'll open it up to questions. Any other questions that you might have? Comments, concerns? How do we ensure that all projects are judged? That's a great question, Alan. That is more of a concern on the place award judging side than it is for special awarding side. With special awarding agencies, agencies can choose the category of a project that they are most interested, that most aligns with the identity of that organization. And so it is up to that judge team to kind of decide how they want to or who they want to visit during that time. However, on the place award side, we do have a system in place, a stickering system that helps us visually identify what projects have been judged and how many times they've been judged. All right, well, if there are no other questions, I'll be around until around 7 o'clock to answer any more questions that you might have. And again, I thank you all for joining me this evening.
Thank you so much.
So Catherine, that's a great question. I see your question here. So you're going to be asked to join us on stage. When you hear your organization's name being read, please go ahead and make your way up to the stage. We will save the actual presentation and we'll do the actual presentation of awards on the side. But on the when you get up to the stage, that is an opportunity for you to shake hands and take pictures with your award recipients. I see a question here. When do you have to arrive to the exhibit hall A? Judging in the afternoon for all of you will start at 1:15. We ask that you come at least by 12:45. At least that will give you an opportunity to eat lunch. If you don't care about the lunch, then please take your directives from your lead judge coordinator, who will hopefully be able to tell you more specifically what time they would like you to be there. I don't want to speak for any organization. However, we do ask, 20 minutes is a good amount of time to be there before judge kickoff. So the link to the abstract, yes, we can absolutely provide that to you. I'll go ahead and put it back into the chat. So that link in the chat then is that first way of using the booklet, and then you can use the showcase. And when you get to the use the showcase, please use 2023. So lunch options is going to be Chick-fil-A sandwiches. And if you are a vegetarian or vegan, we will have salad options. The lead judge for HCMS, Miss O'Neill, are you here?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay, Miss O'Neill, could you give us the lead judge name,
John
please?
Eloff.
Okay, great. Thank you,
He's
ma'am.
with the main administration office for their organization.
Great, thank you. Any other questions, comments? No? Yes, so you can use, to Mr. Joshua, to answer your question, yes, you can use this to kind of narrow down your choices as to who you want to further interview when you get to the fair. Yes, this PowerPoint will be emailed. Great. Well, everyone, have a great evening, and we look forward to seeing you all on Saturday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.